Joining me now, Senator John McCain, who I know, Senator, you have just addressed the crowd of protesters there yourself in Kiev. What is it you're trying to do here?
Hopefully what we're trying to do is bring about a peaceful transition here that would stop the violence, would give the Ukrainian people what they unfortunately have not, with different revolutions that have taken place, a real legitimate society. This is a grassroots revolution here. It's been peaceful except for when the government tried to crack down on them, and the government hasn't done that since. But I'm praising their ability and their desire to demonstrate peacefully for change that I think they deserve.
There has been talk about the semi-Cold War undertones to this protest. What do you think Vladimir Putin is trying to accomplish here? What's been his role?
Well, there's no doubt that Ukraine is of vital importance to Vladimir Putin. I think it was Kissinger, I'm not sure, said that Russia without Ukraine is an Eastern power, with Ukraine it's a Western power. This is the beginning of Russia. It was right here in Kiev. So Putin views it as the most highly important, and he has put pressure on Ukrainians. The price of energy, different kinds of activities, and the word is very clear that he has made certain threats, and whether he would carry those through or not, I don't know.
When you look at the totality of Putin's actions over, say, the last year, things he has done with and against the United States, what is the end game for him? Is this part of it?
I've watched him become more and more assertive in his desire as an old KGB apparatchik to restore the near abroad. He's put pressure on Moldova, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, all of the so-called near abroad. And of course, Ukraine is the crown jewel. And his efforts here, including keeping his naval base in Sevastopol, has been part of it. So there's no doubt that he is very much interested in this sphere of influence. As far as his other activities are concerned, as we work with the Russians to remove the chemical weapons, there are flights of aircraft that are landing in Damascus as we speak with conventional weapons that are slaughtering the Syrians, which is something that I just find appalling. So I think he is assertive. I think that he is now a player in the Middle East, which he has not been since 1973 when he was thrown out when the Russians were thrown out by Sadat. And I think he's realizing, thanks to our weakness, some of his ambitions.
We should tell people the noise that they're hearing right now are the demonstrations that continue to go on. Let me ask you this about the U.S. role. I know that you have wanted the administration perhaps to consider sanctions, something to help boost the anti-government protesters. The question to you is, while we're trying to work on so many things with the Russians, for instance with Iran and in Syria, is this really a good time for the U.S. to be taking on Russia?
Well, I don't think that we would be taking on Russia. And by the way, I am very pleased with Secretary Kerry's statement, our Deputy Secretary Victoria Nuland, who was here. Look, these people love the United States of America. They love freedom. And I don't think you could view this as anything but our traditional support for people who want a free and democratic society. We're not talking about military action. We're not talking about blockades. We are talking about the possibility of sanctions if they continue to brutally repress their people. That would require some action on our part, just because that's what the United States of America is all about. And by the way, there are estimates around 200 to 300,000 people are singing in the background that I hope you can hear.